everybody, welcome back to my channel. Good morning, vlogsters. Look, honey made me coffee in a cup that he said oh. I'll tell you in a second. He said I'm his person. Smile. Well, I should do it slow because when I go to edit this picture out of the thumbnail, it is really difficult when I go fast. So, okay, good morning. Who wants to have that first sip with me? Let's do it. This morning it's Italian sweet cream and donut shop coffee. Do you guys want to hear something really funny? I usually, let me fix you because you feel like you're like right up in my face, and I'm sorry about that. And a little crooked. I feel like I should have a different background. No joke. I'm not kidding. Like, the rest of the couch is not like gross. The rest of the office is not like gross, but everything around me has to be around me when I craft. So I feel like I'm in the clutter. That's all clean and organized. But right here is where the clutter is happening. I found a Sam's Club membership on Groupon for $24 for the year. And you get, what do you get? A pizza or whatever, like a couple of things too. We don't have Sam's Club near here, but Sam's Club has a lot of stuff you can buy online with relatively low shipping, or you can pick it up in store. So like we have plans to go to Springfield maybe next week. I can place an online order, pick it up, or we can shop around in the Springfield store if we feel like shopping that day. It's like up to us, whatever we want to do. The funny thing is I ordered coffee. So what I pay here, I get the Great Value brand donut shop coffee. I get 96 pods, usually for $24.97. So I went on to Sam's Club. I found 100 pods donut shop coffee, just Maker's Mark. So it's like Great Value is to Walmart as Maker's Mark is to Sam's Club, or Sam's Choice is in both stores sometimes. But I found 100 K-cups for $24.97. I was like, score, 4 more cups. And since I'm ordering stuff already, it won't be like extra shipping or whatever. My store took them down to $19.99. Womp womp. But it's okay. I have them. I mean, they came anyway. I just thought it was really funny. I was like, this is typical of my luck, you know. I finally think I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get 4 extra K-cups. And I'm like, Then, oddly enough, I've never had a problem with the Great Value. I had like 3 K-cups of the Maker's Mark, like clog my machine. You know how sometimes cheap K-cups can clog your machine? I think we talked about that in the last video. Or a couple of videos ago. I don't really remember right now, but I just wanted to let everybody know everything's really good. Except, again, I feel like Jerry's wine vlog. That's what I should do. I should just like drink wine and we should wine. No. My shoulder, I think you can definitely see the difference. My left shoulder, I kind of get like bursitis from time to time, and you know, like you do heat, and then especially now when it's like it was 81 degrees, and then it was 47 degrees, and then it was 60 degrees, and then it's going to be 90 degrees. Your bones and joints are like, what is happening? But I kind of get like a little bursitis. I'm not really sure that's what it is anymore, because the typical heat treatments usually make it go away, and then it's away for months or years or even. This is like the heat treatment makes it better for the day, and then it just comes back. So I know that I have a family history of having like rotator cuff issues and from playing sports and all that stuff. Oh, hold on, Jim's here. What's up? Right. But tell her I said thank you if you can. I appreciate it. All right, thanks, hon. I'll tell you guys in a second. But I have a family history of rotator cuff issues. And we were all athletes. Like my sister, who has the shoulder issues, she pitched the softball that I caught all those years. Not all those years. She played less years than I did. Basically, we all started on the same year. My sisters were 10. I was turning 8. So my sisters were, if I was 7 and turning 8, Alicia would have already been 12, and Julie would have already just be turning 11, because her birthday's in September. So for a lot of years, we were on the same team, but then they got older, and I played longer because I started earlier. But anyway, so Julie was the pitcher, so I don't know if you've never played ball, or if you don't have children that play ball, or a husband that plays ball, or don't watch ball. Baseball, I mean, I'm sorry, ball is like so generic. If you're a righty, you throw with your right hand and you catch with your left. So you do have like this impact injury that sometimes happens with ball players, like on their non-dominant hand, because you think about it, you really don't use your non-dominant hand. Obviously it's not dominant, so you don't use it as much as you do your dominant hand. And when you're a righty, a lot of stuff in America is happening for righties. And I'm not trying to like, trying to get on the we need to support lefties bandwagon, which we could, because that's beside the point. Why do they got to pay extra for scissors that cut right? I'm just saying. But anyway, a lot of stuff happens on the right type. I feel like, when you're driving, your reach for everything is on your right, and your left just hangs out. Like, you do more work. I don't know, am I wrong? I just feel like we flush the toilet, usually flushers on the right. Like, just little things that we do on a daily basis we take for granted. It's kind of set up for righties. My sister Jane, hi Janie. Janie was talking about cookie scoops, and I was like, oh, I love the cookie scoops. It makes work so fast. She's like, they're not made for lefties. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, how is a cookie scoop? Well, when I scoop it, it's got that spring bar in it. And when I scoop it, I'm not scooping on the side with the spring bar. When she's scooping on the side with the spring bar. Now, I did tell her if she was interested, if she closed it, she closed it and then scooped it and then opened it again, it would work the same, just backwards. But it's not made for lefties. She's right. It's not made for lefties. It's not as convenient. America is not as convenient for left-handed people as it is for right-handed people. So anyway, with your non-dominant hand, and especially when you're a righty, you sometimes do get left shoulder injuries from like impact. So like catching that heavy, it hurts. Catching that heavy ball, it draws your shoulder back, and just a lot of different things, Anyway, this feels like it's not just bursitis, it's because it's lasting a little longer. And I actually got so upset with myself last night. I think you guys have probably been there. Those of you who have limitations and physical, your bodies aren't doing what you want them to do, I think you can appreciate this. We were reorganizing my room, and I was going to talk to you guys about that too. We were purging, and I was trying to sit up in bed, because I am so Jimmy brings me everything, and I'm like the person who can really organize. I'm so sorry. I can really organize a drawer or a box or something. Like, I am really good at that. Not that he's not. I'm just that, that's like my thing. So he brings me the stuff, and then we're purging, and then I'm taking them and organizing them to where they go. I'm trying just to sit up in bed. Now, I sleep if I'm sitting at the headboard, I'm on the right side. I think you guys have seen me in videos. Well, for me to get in bed, because I have a nightstand, and I have knee issues, that's really where majority of my physical limitations are. What I do is I have to kind of lay sideways in bed, and then I have to scooch my booty back, and I lean on my left arm, push myself up, and sit up. That's what I have to do. That's usually what I've always done, and it works really well normally. I was in so much pain last night, and I asked him, can I go use the TENS unit? Maybe that'll help. It wasn't charged. I put my medicine on. My medicine says you can use it up to 4 times a day. I usually only use it once right before bed, but I was like, heck no. It was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, I'm doing this now. I'm taking extra ibuprofen. It was bad. And I know that my friend Kay is going to be like, go to a freaking doctor, because I don't want to hear this anymore. And I promise her I will. It is the arm that I was going to get my COVID shot in, my vaccine, because you're supposed to get in your non-dominant arm. But I was like, if I had side effects from that exacerbate this pain, I said to Jimmy, it hurts so bad that I probably throat punched the person giving me the shot. Actually, to be honest with you, I was just checking his blood sugar. We do it periodically. He has been so much better with drinking less sugary items and eating better, that we just want to monitor that it's not something genetically. He, on his last blood results, he was pre-diabetic, so the doctor was like, change your diet. So he changed his diet, and we just keep checking it periodically to make sure that just changing his diet is working. That's what I'm trying to say. So about once every 4 or 5 months, we check it. And it was really good this morning, just so you know. But when he went to go like lift his finger, no, he went to push his finger down. He pushed my finger down, which was resting on my leg, and he just pushed my finger down a tiny bit, and it jarred up. And I was like, ah. Now I will tell you the truth. Look, if I go slow and if I go in certain directions, it's fine till there, or like fine till there, and I do my stretches. Last night after my medicine application and after all those ibuprofens and after doing the work around the bedroom or whatever, I was like, yes, I can move. My range of motion's great. And this morning when I woke up, my range of motion was pretty good for not having taken medicine or applied the medicine in hours. Then I waited that 45 minutes for my water to kick in, and I was doing it in bed, and I shouldn't have. I should have just got up and got out and sat and did whatever I had to do, because sometimes that pressure of laying on it helps tremendously, and sometimes it makes it worse. There's like no rhyme or reason to it. It's kind of really weird. Actually, one day it was hurting bad, and we put like the hot compress, like the microwave. I have a microwave charcoal thingy that you put in the microwave and it heats, and I had that on there, and then I laid on it, and Jimmy's like, are you laying on your bad shoulder? I was like, no, the compression and the heat really does help. However, it doesn't help all the time, and currently until Tuesday, our microwave is not working. We have like the home warranty thing, but they can't get here till Tuesday. So I'm like, I can't even heat that because you can't put that in the oven, and I can't put it in boiling water. So it's just, I know, it's crazy. It's just like little things happening. So last night I was trying to sit up and I was hurting, and it was really hard. Like I really was having impossibilities of sitting up. Part of it, I will not lie to you, part of it is fear of hurting yourself more. I won't lie. You don't want to move. Like, I won't say that it necessarily hurt to do certain things that I could have tried, but it was just the thought of how they could hurt me, that they could exacerbate it. And that alone was like paralyzing to do it. So see that just stretched my arm out a tiny bit to put my elbow on the table. So he came around and helped me up, just to sit me up so I didn't have to push off with my arm, and it worked out okay. But I got so mad at myself, and I almost brought myself to tears, because first of all, there was so much pain. Secondly, and most importantly, which was most of my emotion, I was like, what is wrong with my body? Why does it keep doing this? And I know that a direct answer is because I'm overweight and whatever. But let me tell you something. I've always been overweight. And I know eventually everything catches up to you. And I'm trying, like, I'm not trying to lose weight necessarily, but I am trying to like eat better and move. That's the thing. And I was like, I am moving more than I have in a year almost. Well, maybe 6 months, maybe 8 months. I'm moving more than I have in a year. I'm doing everything. We're cleaning and we're purging and we're just getting it all done. And it's not at a super great pace. It's not like you guys would come in and be like, you're kicking it. No, because I actually said to Jim, I'm like, why do we feel like we need to get this all done in a week if you're going to take some time off from work? And he said, he signed up to do DoorDash, so he could DoorDash for like if we need supplemental income or whatever. So why do we feel like we need to push ourselves to the point of breaking? It's better to work for me, it's better to work like every other day or every third day. Depends on what's the weather like and all those other factors. But for me, it's better to like have a whole day of work and then 2 days of rest, and a whole day of work and 2 days of rest, than to push myself every day. Now, when I say 2 days of rest, I don't just sit on the couch for 2 whole days. I have to get up and cook and clean, but I just meant like no extra work. Now, the crafting and DIYs or cooking or all that stuff that I share videos, that I don't consider work when I'm saying the work. Like, they're work, but they're not the physical energy work that I'm spent. Those are mental energy works. So I don't like, so if I have the 2 days where I don't work around the house, then it'll be 2 days where I can put into like doing comments, which is very difficult. We had an issue here, and it was such beautiful love and support, and I wanted to read everybody's comments, and I wanted to reply to everybody's comments. I had a migraine and I never get migraines. I had a migraine for like 6 hours because it was just too much eye strain. And this is why I don't do comments like other content creators or other, other YouTubers, or as much as I would like to. Let's just put it this way, or as much as I used to. When I first started my channel, I made it 100% my mission to reply, not just to like everybody's comments, but to reply and read, well, not just to read everybody's comments, but to reply to everybody's comments. And of course, as the channel gets bigger, that becomes more of time consuming and less of a possibility. So you just read them and you heart them. In fact, in the beginning, I didn't even know about the heart feature. I just knew about the thumbs up part. So I would thumbs up everybody's, read them, thumbs them up, comment back, that kind of thing. Now, my eyes, until they're like, if they'll ever be better or whatever, but it's just the work, that extra work of like, you get the magnifying glass and you get your phone and you're like reading it, and then you have to like reply or talk to text, but then you have to read your reply to make sure that there's not like spelling or grammatical errors, or talk to text like messed up your words. It's time consuming. It's not hard. I mean, construction work is hard. Like, I always go to construction work for some reason. My dad worked in construction for so many years, and all like him, when his body was breaking down, he's like, this body carried 200 pounds worth of cement up a ladder, like 50-pound bags over each shoulder. And I'm like, God bless you. I always compare it to construction work because I knew how physically laborious it was. So anyway, I work better on days when I physically can work for 2 days and then like physically work less for 2 days and relax. So that's why I feel like my language sometimes gets picked apart. So I want to make sure that I give you the right language. I know most of you know what I'm talking about. So I was just really upset with myself. I'm like, why is this happening? Here's the big kicker is, while Jim was working, up until like a month, his last month of work, or maybe 2 months of work, I was mentally like checked out since my brother died, but like physically I was hurting. Something hurt over the last like 2 months of him working. So now I kind of didn't expect it would keep going. I just thought that I was hurting more because while he was working, I was doing more around the house. So I was thinking like, well, I'm hurting because I'm doing more physical exertion around here because you're at work so much. But what it turns out is that something is just breaking down in my body. So I'm just getting old, people. So my right knee, it was like my back and my right knee, and then my hip and my right leg, and now it's my left shoulder. Oh my God. They say getting old sucks, but it beats the alternative. I say that all the time because it's 100% true. There are so many people in the ground and in heaven that would love to experience old age, including my brother. I don't really know, actually, if he really wanted to experience old age, to be honest with you, but they're not, it's not something that I, let's see, how do I put this? It's not something that I'm mad at. I just kind of didn't expect it to all happen at once. And I don't think I was prepared for it as I thought I was going to be. But it's weird. It's like I'm trying to do something and I'm trying to do the work. And it's like my body's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, no, what's wrong with you? So today I said I would mention we had plans, tentative plans, because now that Jimmy has a flexible schedule, we have tentative plans to go to Springfield. Mom likes the bourbon chicken. When she lived in New York for like 2 years, she used to take the bus to Roosevelt Field. And if you're familiar with the area, you know what I'm talking about. She used to go to the food court, and there was a restaurant called The Big Easy. She loved the bourbon chicken. She would just get it with white rice and have bourbon chicken. Well, of all her years living here, I moved here and we started going to Springfield just to check out the mall, and she found bourbon chicken that she loves. It tastes just like the one in New York. It's at a Chinese restaurant. So what we usually do, because, I mean, Springfield's not a million miles away, but it's like an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes to get to the mall, which isn't horrible. So it's not like we just go there for dinner. When we go to Springfield, it's like a day of Springfield or whatever. So she likes to go to get her bourbon chicken. She usually orders a tray. We come home and we divvy it up and freeze it. Freezes really well if you guys are ever interested. Allie, if you're there and you're listening and you liked bourbon chicken from when you were on Long Island, this is what you need to do. It's the Chinese restaurant. Mom remembers the name. I don't remember the name. I just know when you go into the food court door around the back of the Battlefield Mall, you go in the food court door. It's the first Chinese restaurant right on the right-hand side. They have the really best bourbon chicken since outside of what I've learned on Long Island. And I don't mean, it's not, okay, I don't want to get into like a whole Louisiana bourbon chicken thing. It's just the best for if you grew up eating it on Long Island. If you grew up eating Big Easy restaurant bourbon chicken, then it tastes like that. That's what I meant. I've never had it anywhere else but there and then here. So, anyhow, I can't eat it as much because it's got a lot of sugar. But I do treat myself. I use a slotted spoon, so I have no sauce. And I eat it on cauliflower rice, which I love. But when I was in New York before I was a diabetic, I used to get it with their fried rice and corn, because they put so much butter on that corn, and it's so like sweet corn that it just tastes amazing together. So if you ever try it and you want my advice, that's the way to go. I guess it depends on the fried rice at the place you go to, but anyway. This is one of those days where I'm just going to be all over the place with the talking. That's okay, though. So we were going to do that today. You know, we celebrate Mother's Day is Sunday. And I said, would you like to, since we have flexible schedules, would you like to celebrate Mother's Day early or later or whatever? I was like, because everybody's going to be out on Sunday. And places are crowded, and my family doesn't really care for crowds. And they really don't have a lot of patience to wait for, like, seating at the restaurant or whatever. So I was like, if we pick a day, we can celebrate you any day, really. I was like, every day's Mother's Day around here. But we pick a day where we could celebrate you and go early or whatever. So we were going to go today. Originally, the weather was going to be thunderstorms today, but then it ends up being beautiful. But I woke up this morning. I'm in so much pain and discomfort. I did take my medicine. I did apply my medicine. Hopefully in the next hour, maybe by the time I'm finished with this vlog, it might feel better. But Jim also like really wore himself out yesterday. There's a lot of walking when we go to Springfield because they've got all the different stores. Mom wants to go to Target and the Dollar Tree, and then maybe Sam's Club and Five Below, and then to a restaurant or whatever. So, he was like tired too, so he went in and talked to Mom, and Mom's like, yeah, it's whatever, she wants me to rest up today, maybe we can go tomorrow. I was like, okay. I mean, it's not about that. It's it's just a matter of like, I want to be able to enjoy the time with her, as opposed to sometimes when I just take them to the mall. I never go to the mall. I think I went to it twice, maybe 3 times. I've been actually in the mall of all the times that I've taken them. Usually I just sit in the car and play on my phone or doing YouTube. Sometimes I vlog. Sometimes I read comments, answer comments, whatever. It depends on my mood, right? And my content for the day. But it turns out, like, we're just not going to go today. So I told him to tell her, or told her that if she wanted to still go out to dinner tonight, we could do something local. If she wanted to go shopping today, we could do something local. Maybe we'll do something like that. And she said, you could just wait for tomorrow. So that's really sweet. Then I said to Jim, I'm like, well, we have to figure something out for dinner because we were going to go out to eat, so I don't have anything out for dinner. But we'll figure something out. I actually do have chicken that I have to pack today. So maybe we'll have chicken. Maybe we'll do something with the chicken. We'll talk to them. We'll talk as a family afterwards. But I hurt so much that I actually asked him. I had to do my glucom. I wanted to test his blood sugar, and I left my glucometer in the living room from yesterday. So I sat at the kitchen table, and I was like, can you get my glucometer? Can you come here and do this? Like, can you bring me my coffee? All these things. And I was like, I just realized I didn't check the thermostat. Oh, hang on a second, guys. Sorry, guys. And it's bouncy. It's bouncy. It's bouncy. I love my new monopod snake thingy because it clears up the table. But once I press a button, it takes a few minutes for the bounce back. It's funny because I'm thinking like, oh, I'm in so much pain, but my mood is like lifted and my spirits are high and I feel emotionally really good. The sunshine really makes a difference. It's colder, but it's my kind of cold. It's going to be like 68 today, which is perfect. Open the house. It's like spring, even though it's spring. I mean, it is spring, so, you know, it's not just not the beginning of spring. It's like open the house and enjoy the day. But my body is like, are you freaking kidding me right now? What are you doing? Oh, hopefully it'll just get better soon. I think I'm gonna get Mom's heating pad, just to give it a little heat treatment. Yesterday it was a little cool in the living room. I wore my like pullover sweater I sometimes throw on over my pajamas just to warm my shoulders. I love lap blankets, so I very rarely wear like socks or pants or anything because I like to be barefoot. But I love lap blankets. Just makes me feel cozy and cuddled. But never like usually in like my shoulders, because my shoulders are usually only covered. I usually can only cover my shoulders when I'm watching TV, just watching TV. If I'm working on the phone or working on my iPad, my arms have to be out. So I'll put on my sweater just to warm my shoulders up, because I find that makes a huge difference too. Oh, I have so much, I found so much DIY stuff that I want to share with you guys. And I really do hope that okay, how do I say this? My creative spark, I really do hope that it does restart. Just one of these times when I actually do a DIY, it's like click over. It's so weird because it kind of is like, I don't know how else to describe it. I know many of you reach out to me and you do have the exact same feelings. I know that 100%. So this is why I share this. But sometimes when I create, I'm going through the motions. And sometimes when I create, I'm like, I'm just, the energy, the chi is all flowing into the artwork. But sometimes it's just like, almost like I do it for a living. Like, oh, I have to churn out 10 more signs. Okay. But then, like, when I start to get into the groove, then I'm just like, oh, I want to make this, and this is going to be amazing, whatever. That's the spark I'm talking about. So I just want that spark to come back. I'm hoping one of these days I'll actually do something that'll just be like, boom, there's your spark. I know, so weird. Why do you guys love me so much? Oh, that's right, I love myself. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Have I shared these with you yet? Sorry, I just saw them sitting over here and I had a squirrel moment. So these I actually really love. These are exactly the same shape and size, and I think she got the same magnification as my Mr. Fredrickson glasses that you've seen me in. That's what I call them. Mr. Fredrickson is the guy for the old man from Up. So those big black rim ones that I have. These are the exact same, but they're in clear with like a light blue arm. These are the ones Lisa got. And she gave them to me. She said they were just very heavy for her nose. They felt very heavy. I feel it's kind of weird because I kind of feel like when my allergies aren't attacking, they're fine. But when my allergies are attacking, that's how I feel too. Or sometimes when they start to move down, like if I'm looking at the iPad and I start to move down, I feel like it pressures off this part. But these actually feel lighter than the black ones. So don't ask me. I don't know. But I had to order some more because I had the first 2 pairs that I bought. One was the Mr. Fredrickson glasses and the other ones were similar, but had like metal arms. And plastic earpieces, and the plastic earpiece came off of one. I still can use them very carefully balanced, and I do have them for an emergency backup pair because the magnification and the blue light really does help. But she gave me these, and then I ordered some. They now come in 4.0, so score on that. Maybe that'll really help me get into the comments much better. So, of course, I ordered them before Jimmy left his job, or lost his job, or what did he say that day? Oh, he got let go. Before Jimmy got let go, but they should be here tomorrow, I think that thing said. So, hey, it is what it is. You got to keep going. It's what we got to do. It's what we got to do. We just got to keep going. If you're interested, I know they're kind of expensive. They're not Dollar Tree glasses. They're $25 a pair. They do go on sale. The ones that I got last time were like 15 and 10, and I got him ones that were 15 and 20. They do have good sales, and they do have clearance. But the fact that they have the blue light blocking technology does help with the eye strain. In fact, when my eyes start to hurt from reading the comments, I'm like, could you imagine if I had on regular glasses? That's what happens. I'm like, could you imagine if I had on regular glasses and was doing this? This would be terrible. But anyway, so the blue light blocking technology really does help with that too. It also does help with nighttime. You know, if you're a person who looks at your phone at night in bed, blue light is what keeps your mind awake. And if you don't have sleep mode on there or nighttime mode, iPhones give you the ability to change everything to the yellow light, which is more soothing. If you don't have that ability on your phone, then blue light blocking technology works really good. So just if you're interested, peepers.com. I don't have an affiliate link or referral code or anything, but I found them to be very valuable. And honestly, if you go to CVS, a good pair of readers are $20 without blue light technology and without being like cute. They're just like, you know, Bausch and Lomb, and they're like actual tested magnifying glass type of situation. So it is what it is. I think you get free shipping over $40. So if you buy like 2 pairs, it might be $45, but if you buy like 2 pairs, that's free shipping, and that's all it costs you. It doesn't even cost you tax because it's over the internet. Or some states, take that back. Some states you pay tax over when you buy stuff online. It's just a babble session if ever there was one, right? So maybe tomorrow to Springfield, maybe in a couple of days. Maybe we'll have chicken tonight. Maybe we'll order in. Maybe we'll take out. She still wants to, if she wants to go tomorrow, she still wants to go to Longhorn. So she said not to her favorite steakhouse here tonight. So we'll talk about it later. We'll see how I feel. And that's a big part of it. I know we don't even have to go this early. But the way I'm feeling now, I can't imagine I'm going to feel better in a little while. I'm hopeful that I will, but it just doesn't seem, the odds are against it. Let's put it that way. My past history would say that it's probably not going to be that way. Listen, I love you guys so much. I do. I'm not rehashing anything. I just wanted to let you know that everything that had happened in the last video and the video before that, I wanted to let you guys know that, first of all, I love and appreciate every single one of you, even the people who have an opposing opinion, even people who have negative things to say. I pray for them because I think I mentioned in a few comments, people were like getting on them, and I was like, this usually is just a sign that these people have been hurt. I mean, that's really what it is. People who have negativity in their lives are just people who have been hurt. They might not even know it. My mother-in-law is a self-admitted negative person. And as we were learning each other over the years, and I realized that she really was psychologically like abused. Not so much like so overtly that it would be like noticed. And that's the thing. I think any child who is withheld affection and love because the parent is incapable, the protection, that type of thing. I think anybody who grows up like that is sort of emotionally, just ill prepared. So it's anybody who's usually acts out usually is somebody who's been hurt by somebody or something before. Now, I've been hurt by plenty of people, plenty of times before, but I also know that I've learned probably by the time I was 10. I think I was 9 because I was in 4th grade. No, I was 10. He was in 4th grade. When I was 10 and there was a little kid that the kids on the bus stop were picking on, this was like the first time that I started picking on somebody else. And I realized that I don't like it. I didn't like it. It lasted for about a week. And then after a week, I realized that I saw a look in his eyes that I had seen in a mirror so many times. And I was like, Jerry, what are you doing? And not like patting myself in the back, but I just realized at a very early age because I was really hurt. Like the kids really hurt me. And I don't know that they realized it. Society really hurt me. And I don't know that they realized it. And it was kind of weird when it was me growing up because I had so many people. I walked into the deli across the street and the little old Italian man that owned it had a stroke. So he wasn't working behind the counter anymore. He'd stand at the door. And I'd walk in the door and he'd be like, Miss America, every time I walked in the door, because he just thought like how beautiful I was and I was still chubby, but I was like cute and whatever. And I had like these people and my family and everybody like I ever meet and how beautiful I was and adorable and the blue eyes and the blonde hair. And then I had kids at school who were like the opposite and like you're fat and you're gross and you're dirty and it was so weird. It was such a mind mess up, like what? That's when I had to start realizing, like, who do you believe? Who do you listen to? Who do you put your faith in as far as humanity is concerned? Your parents, your brothers and sisters, your friends, your neighbors, the priest. Like, who do you put, or your pastor, who do you put your faith in? Who do you rely on to be honest with you? And I got to a point where I think I was probably just about 18, 19 years old, maybe 20. Maybe by the time I was going out to clubs, I realized just yourself. It's really all you can trust. You know the truth. You know all your truths. People only know what you show them. You know what really happens. People only, even emotionally, people only see what you show them. If you're a person who is hurting inside but puts a smile on the outside, that's what people will know. Oh, she was so happy all the time as she was dying inside. Robin Williams is a perfect example. He obviously was battling depression for a really long time because he was addicted to drugs. And a lot of people who are addicted to drugs usually are trying to drown out a feeling. But did anybody ever know he was depressed? He just had a smile on the outside the whole time because that's what people know. But he knew his truth. He knew how he felt on the inside. He was the only one who knew his truth. And the same thing goes for you guys. And I don't mean to like this become like a pep talk, but I'm okay with it if it does. That just wasn't my intention when I started vlogging today. You have to be honest with yourself. There's no reason to lie to yourself because you know the truth. And all it does is create resentment towards yourself, guilt and shame towards yourself. So you definitely have to be honest with yourself. Honestly, yes, I 100% know why I'm going blind because I managed my diabetes to the minimum amount of management, to the minimum amount for a very long time. I didn't do anything extra, 100%. I made sure that like if I ate crap, then I would go exercising. And that's really what it's supposed to be. Like I was telling myself that was balance. But now I look at it in hindsight and I say, well, you never should have let it get that way. Anyway, it's all about like, I'm honest with myself. You have to be honest with yourself. Because you know whether or not you're telling BS or whether or not it's all true. But you guys, if you are the only person who can put value on your self-worth, being honest with yourself is truly important. If you talk to yourself like you would talk to your children or your best friend, you would never discourage your children, or I hope you would never discourage your children from going out there and giving their best and telling them that they're beautiful and telling them that they can do anything. Why would you not allow yourself to hear those words? Same thing with your best friend. If you would tell your best friend that that outfit doesn't look good on her because it makes your booty look big. Unless you want your booty to look big, it doesn't make your booty look good big. It makes it, but whatever it is you would tell your best friend, whatever relationship you guys have. Tell it to yourself. You are slamming in that outfit. You can conquer anything. You are gorgeous. I don't know what people are having a problem with, like all those things. Why wouldn't you tell it to yourself? Because when it comes down to it, you're all you have in the world. Everything else is temporary. Everything else is temporary. Your home, your spouse, your children, they are going to grow up and be on their own. They may prematurely leave your life for one reason or another. You could get divorced or be widowed or widowed. You could be I don't know. What movie was that from? I'm sorry, When Harry Met Sally? Wait, was that When Harry Met? How come when someone's wife dies, you say they were widowed, not widowed? I don't know. Anyway, but this is what happens in my brain, people. But when it all comes down to it, you're only left with you. You might have friends at work and then you don't work at that job anymore and then you really lose contact. You might have a best friend and something happens. Either you get into a fight or you move away or you don't talk to each other as much, or then you don't talk to each other at all and you each get new best friends from where you live. Like, you only have yourself in the end. And honestly, you have to be nice to that person. You have to be kind to that person. Now, you also could be harshly critical as long as it's productive and objective. Don't just repeat whatever anybody has told you before. Don't just say, I hate your fat ass, when, excuse my language, when you really kind of like it, but you've just heard people in society be like, you have a fat ass and it's gross. Or boys or men or whatever, friends, girls, and whatever. Just love it. And be like, what? Look at that booty. What? Whatever it is. Just pick something and then do it. But don't be honest with yourself. Don't just repeat what society has told you. Don't just repeat what you've heard in the past. You know, be honest with yourself. Some people think they have an ugly personality. I think the only people who have ugly personalities are people who know that they're being mean and choose to do it anyway. Some people just don't know they're being mean. Some people just don't know how to not be critical. Some people just don't know how to communicate properly. But there's some people who do it on purpose and they just choose it. So I feel like sometimes those people kind of are ugly. So we did a really good job purging in the room last night. I'm going to share the video. I know that these videos for purging and rearranging rooms is going to be way spread out because I'm really trying to utilize the time like I mentioned before. So I'm going to go after I vlog here and upload it. I'm going to go and edit that one. We did a really good work. We still have a little bit more to do as far as that purging is concerned. We basically have to do all the clothes hanging in the closet. And then I have 2 drawers and another dresser that I have to purge. But Jimmy had just gotten done. He was just done last night. And I was like, I know you're doing the bulk of the work, but if you want to finish, I'll finish. And he's like, nope, I'm done. I was like, okay. So it's basically my bras and panties. And then it's all the clothes hanging in the closet and on the floor in the closet. So it's like shoes and hanging clothes. And I did purge them last year. I have a whole big bag, but he said he wants to go through it again. He wants me to go through it again and be honest. And, get rid of whatever. What I actually thought of, and you'll see in the video, we did a little reconfiguring in the top of our closet to put away winter stuff, which we hadn't done in a few years. But I think what I would like to do is I would like to take the winter dresses out of the closet because just like in the dresser, I was using the 2 dressers, so I was able to keep out all of my clothes and not have to pack away seasonal stuff. But the same thing goes with the closet. So if I'm able to pull out the winter stuff and maybe put it in a garment bag and lay it across the tops of that's what I'm thinking I might do. I'm gonna talk to him about it. Because if that's the case, I want to get a good garment bag from like Target. They're just a little bit of high quality. I mean, Walmart has high quality ones too, but I just want to get a better garment bag, like something more permanent for the season, not the one from the Dollar Tree, in case it gets moved around a lot. So, but that would also help free up the space, because I probably have, try to pick up my arm, I probably have this much closet width of like winter clothes, and it's not even coats, it's just like sweaters and winter dresses and winter skirts and winter tops. So that would free up a lot of bar space in the closet. Plus, I have to be honest with myself and say, go through stuff. And I bought a lot of clothes last year, and I really tried everything on, and I liked almost everything that I got. But there's some things that I'm like, You know, it was $6. I got it on clearance. I tried it. It don't look great. Just give it, you know, like the tags are still on it. You can't return it. Just donate it or sell it. If we have a garage sale. I think I started to tell you that. I told you that in the video last night, when I shot the video part last night. We are on the fence of whether or not we're going to have a garage sale. We were thinking it's probably a good idea if we want to continue to try to build our home businesses for longer, try to delay that Jim having to go back to work outside of the home. I was like, that would really be helpful if we actually did that. We could sell all of these clothes and all of the things that we're purging. I know we've just been giving them away, and we try to be a blessing onto others, but at this point it's like, just do what you got to do. So we'll see. We did found sort of a solution. We have these like really strong scented garbage bags. And I told Jim, I'm like, ooh, when we put the clothes in the strong scented garbage bags, maybe they won't smell like cigarette smoke after a while. He's like, good luck with that. I was like, we could try. So anyway, that's it. We're going to continue on our work, and I'm sure we'll take you with us, share with you whatever we can. That's it. Love you guys. I mean it. Oh, did I finish talking about that? I'm so weird. I wanted to thank you for all your love and support, but I mostly wanted to talk to the 4 women that reached out to me. I mentioned it a few times in the video, the Shame on Me video, that I am not standing up for myself. Nothing that anybody said except the last statement did I take personally, because I usually, like I said, it's people lashing out. I didn't feel like I was defending myself. I mentioned in the comments that I feel like I was just educating people. People were coming at me with false allegations and making up things, and they didn't research, they were uneducated about it. So I was just trying to tell them, I was trying to educate them about it. But what I was doing was, and I was trying to do, and what I try to do whenever I address situations like this is, it ain't about me. It's about those women who see something in me, in themselves, who take offense to when I get bullied. They feel like they get bullied too. So I want to thank the 4 women. I'm not going to mention them. If that's okay. I hope it's okay that I don't mention you. The 4 women who reached out to me, who directly said, thank you for standing up for me. Well, and I'm not quoting, but yes, some of them actually said that. Thank you for standing up for me. You're 100% right. I see everything that I'm going through in you, or I see things that you're going through in me. And I was really getting upset by all of the things that they were saying. And I knew that because we all had talked before. I knew that, and I wanted to make sure that it was important that people know why I do what I do. I mentioned it to Jim a long time ago. I said, Jim, if I could teach one person one thing, I can inspire one person one time, it's worth it. But as the channel grows, and as our community grows, and our YouTube family, and this family and friendship that we have, I know that it's way more than one. And I really do appreciate that. So I love you guys. I'm about halfway done with my coffee. I don't know how far you got. But as always, you guys take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye.